Hey guys, Sandra, welcome back to channel. So guys, I know a lot of my viewers watch this after the fact. I can't do weekend lives. We have tried it, but it just doesn't work for the others in the house and the routine in the house. So guys, for the podcast, I've got some really exciting guests coming up. Deb, when she's through end of financial year and a few family things, she's going to come on as well. Guys, we're going to be doing a bit more controversial topics as well. A few things from experience that I've seen. Also, I've reached out to a few nursing agencies and asked if they'd have a community nurse or their media people come on to talk about the difference between nurse, PA, and support worker as well. And guys, going to talk about the naivety of some support workers. And guys, these are support workers who I'm not going to blame for their naivety, but they come into the industry eyes wide shut. When they've got to work the overtime, or like they're right, this is my finish time, I'm out of here, and the bus for the day centre or the next person hasn't come on, or they're even trying to leave early because that person might have difficult and challenging behaviours. They come in clothing that is lovely and professional, but it's corporate professional. It's not appropriate for support work. Who are like, I don't do X, Y, Z or A, B, C, or the biggest ones I hear is personal care or housework. The biggest ones I hear are, I am not your housekeeper, or I am not your maid. While those are true, that person needs help. Assistance with daily living includes personal care. It includes housework. It includes groceries. It includes budgeting. This is what really gets me, is that people who don't understand the industry look at the money and go, oh my God, and they expect that as starting rate. Don't realise how emotionally draining it is, how heavy it is, that who are like, oh no, I'm not going to read the care notes, I'm going to get to know the person. Then when they get there, they're totally and utterly unprepared as well. Also doing a lot more vlogging style content as well. My ring light I forgot to charge, guys. Doing a lot more vlogging style content for low-cost community activities on a one-on-one or day centre as well. And guys, I've realised when I'm promoting the channel, Annie in Wonderland How to Experience the NDIS is just so long. Going to talk with Deb because she is my mentor for the channel. See what is much more appropriate for me as well. Those of you guys in southeast Queensland, whoa, it's cold. But it's what we need as well. Finally teed up a time with the community pharmacist as well. Teed up another time with Social Gamer, Socializer. Daniel, I do apologise as well. We've realised there's so much more we can talk about. He is quickly becoming a very good friend of the show, particularly over on the podcast as well. And I've reached out to some international guests and friends. We have had some recording trouble, so we're going to have to re-record one with a friend of mine who's in the cryptography community. talking about Liber Primus and the last old school internet mystery as well. Guys, life update. I've had 2 really rough nights with sleep. I don't know whether it's sugar, coffee, poor diet, my bedding. So after this, guys, I will record it for you guys. I'm going to strip my bed, put some sheets on, do the Jordan Peterson thing of clean your room. And I've realised what he's saying might come across as savage, but it makes sense. Cleaning your room, you've got a great foundation for your sleep, for your hygiene. Then once you've got your sleep and your hygiene sorted out, you can then, especially for a person with a disability, you can then build on that, because sleep is so, so, so important. Guys, I'd recommend Michael Mosley's sleep experiment. I think it was the last thing he wrapped before he unfortunately passed. Also going to try and get in a few episodes of Maggie Beer's thing on aged care. And guys, there's actually a lot of crossover with the aged care and the disability. I've realised that there's a lot of people who are medically complex pre-NDIS who were living in inappropriate accommodations. That might be a share house, nursing home, particularly nursing homes, have all got horror stories around inappropriate treatment, inappropriate handling. And let's be real, our older people deserve so much better than that as well. No, it's just the aircon, guys. I could hear a strange noise as well. Yeah, also, guys, I know a few of you guys who are fans who are in my social circle haven't realised how I know a lot of other people in Toowoomba. If you see me out and about, feel free to come up and say hello, take a selfie. I might, depending on the situation, might ask you guys not to post it until a certain time as well. And guys, if you're looking for a job and you're a writer, content creator, and you're looking, I know Simon Whistler, I was watching his Brain Blades, and the way he recruits is amazing. He's like, I've only interviewed one person in my life. I hate interviews. Person on the other end probably hates it as well, especially if they're not HR trained. He's like, as long as you've got the appropriate, he's like, send me a sample of your work, send me your pitch, send me some research, I'll try. And he is very inclusive. His one of his main writers is actually blind, and he uses a screen reader and stuff like that. Dave Blind Dave, as we call him, because he's got 2 Daves, so they call him Other Dave and Blind Dave. And it's really quite funny that they call him Blind Dave. I find that quite amusing. So he's like, if you can do the work, who cares? Send me a script. If it's good, if it fits with my channels, I'll pay you for it. Obviously, you're self-employed, so you've got to have all your ABN or business number, depending on where you are in the world. Guys, I can hear someone knocking at the door. I'll be back soon. Hey guys, it was just the wind. Sorry about that. So guys, other person that's looking is Friendly Geordies. He's looking for someone who has the time to watch a lot of news. And that would be really great for someone with a physical disability or even psychosocial disability. If you have the discipline and the support to do it, he wants to basically do what Media Watch used to do with the bias in reporting, stuff like that as well. So, guys, over on the podcast, I've got 2 American guests lined up. Someone from the cryptography community, someone who's a fairly big name YouTuber as well. I can't disclose who, but we're trying to tee up a time who I'm going to talk to him about the literacy crisis and critical thinking, and how critical thinking is dying. That people are at face value believing propaganda, they're believing tweets, they're not doing their own homework, essentially. How, like, asking, he's not a political commentator, but I'm going to reach out to some of the smaller American political commentators to see what their reaction is to the attempted assassination, why they like Trump, because what we hear, obviously, in Australia is not a lot compared to what we should. Yes, we've got things like Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, but again, a lot of those bigger creators do have their own bias. So, going to look at that one. Guys, doing some day trips again with my community services agency. So really, after this live, going to get organised. And I know I've done a thing of organisation with a disability. My editor has watched it and said I had a few blind spots. So we're going to really drill down on the organisation. And guys, I want to reinforce, if you're an effective support worker, yeah, it can take years. That can be because of NDIS delays, it can be because of family, it can be because of friends, it can be the client themselves. That it could be medication, it could be diagnoses, it could be a multitude of reasons. Even small progress is progress. So someone who was totally dependent on someone else to get a cup of coffee, to being able to put the kettle on and get the stuff out themselves, maybe not make it, but opening the fridge door, putting the kettle on, getting the coffee out, or putting a pod in a coffee machine, that's all still progress as well. Guys, I'll give it till 9:15, so because we started early as well. Also, Deb and I are going to do a case study episode to explain her job a bit more, because there are some people who are outside of the NDIS and then the health system who really don't understand a lot of people's roles. And I do agree with someone over on TikTok. I might not agree with all of her views, but she's like, what is the point of LACs? Like, LACs were supposed to be the original support coordinators, and they were supposed to be local area coordinators. So they were supposed to be local people who had knowledge of disability services, health services, community connections, have that NGO background, charity background. And a lot of people have moved because of the jobs, which is fair enough, but they haven't really done the research. Guys, I've had nothing but bad experiences with LACs. I now directly go to a planner or Deb. And there's probably some brilliant LACs out there. But that's kind of a really interesting take to see that people are starting to push back, particularly people within the system. How they're pushing back is amazing as well. Especially with the whole thing of the project doing a hack job on sex workers being funded. And it may not be just for doing the deed. The best way I heard it is it's basically for a lot of people with psychosocial disabilities who might be let's be real, an SA risk if they didn't have that service. It might be talking to someone. It might be touch therapy. You don't know the whole story. It might be that they can't gel with the psychologist or psychiatrist. It might be a physically trained sexologist who is also a sex worker. And it shows the demonization and the infantilization of people with a disability, which I think is becoming more and more apparent in the Murdoch media as well. And guys, I am starting to really get serious about the YouTube and the podcast. I do now have a Substack and a Patreon. I know cost of living is hitting everyone hard as well. So that's why I'm suggesting that if you want to have a go at writing, Simon Whistler, yeah, there will be deadlines, there will be shit tons of research, so you've got to have reliable internet, probably be able to take international phone calls, things like that. Friendly Geordies was looking for a few people as well. And one thing I do is have one of my support team is also my editor, which is absolutely brilliant. I do also have some other support around me with the YouTube and the podcast, just generally in the house, where they'll organise that either people are out of the house or people are quiet as well. Guys, I can see that no one's joined me as well. I am trying to just work out when I can do these. I would love to do them in the evening, but I'm generally stuffed by the evening. With the colder weather, I haven't been able to wear my CPAP. That's increasing the fatigue. So there's a massive issue there. Guys, so we've got some exciting topics coming up as well. Guys, email is always in the description. If you want to email us your questions for Deb, mailbag episode, comments, questions, as Deb said, even criticisms, and we can respond to them. We're both adults. We are both fairly mature. We've both had a background. Deb's had a long background in early childhood education and then support, as well as running a retail store. I've had a long background in retail. So we can both take creative criticism. We won't take criticisms that are obviously transphobic, slurs, hate speech, basically, as well. So, guys, absolutely amazing. Also, I am working on some stuff for the media channel around David Icke, and yes, I'm starting to see some of his things are conspiracies, but some of these things he talked about, he was right on the money. Also working on some basic math skills for myself, and also those of you who've asked for a craft update, I will put some photos up on the blog as well. And yeah, I will look at renaming the channel because Annie Wonderland How to Experience CNCIS is a very long name, and a lot of people want to subscribe, but they can't find me when I'm talking to them about what I do. So, guys, going to leave it there. I've got the podcast came out yesterday, which was Support Workers We Need to Talk, about what good and bad support is revisited. We seem to be stuck on that one. Why I'm stuck on that one is because I'm seeing it firsthand. That people come into, as I said, come into the industry, eyes wide open. I'm here to help. I'm here to be the hand of God. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. We need those people. But please do your homework about what it really is. So, guys, again, Friendly Geordies is looking for remote staff. Simon Whistler is saying, like, that if you send him a pitch or a script and it's well researched, well written, he does run it through like a plagiarism checker, which is fair enough. And like, I got offered to do some content creation for a toothbrush company. I thought it was a sponsorship, but it was, no, they solely want it for their socials. When I jumped on Trustpilot, they didn't seem to have a great rating. So I'm waiting for them to explain themselves and to get back to me. I don't want to name the company because they might be a startup as well. Not understand Australian consumer law as well. Guys, trying to get myself organised as well, because I've had that occasion where just a few things have got to me, really got off track. So really looking at getting organised. And guys, I have like a Coles green bag of script ideas, study, research that I'm basically going to spend today and tomorrow morning putting it all into OneNote as well. So editing Matilda, research Matilda, and Deb, that is coming. I know that's a lot of inside baseball as well. So guys, I can see no one's here, but I know a lot of people will watch it after the fact as well. Guys, just a heads up, I'm seeing a lot of tarot readers on TikTok who are like, I'll give you a free reading. Look, if you're going to get a tarot reading, please go and do it in person or go to someone reputable. I can recommend Minnow Pond Tarot or the Pisces Collective. Awakened, I think that's Katie McLaughlin. And her website is Awakened Child or Wild Child. Have nothing against the New Age Tarot and fortune telling or anything like those, but these seem particularly scammy and hurry. And if it is very pushy, please just say no and block them, because it could be fraud as well. People, if they offer a free reading, they will respect you if you say no. I had one who was very polite. Hey, I've noticed your content. Can I do you a free reading? I said, lovely offer, but no, thank you. And they were really polite and said, thanks. That's the way it should be as well. And guys, I've noticed a few international comments are getting blocked. So, guys, I've opened the comment section. I've got no filter on it at the moment. So, guys, if you're being mean, if you're being hate speech towards disability or any of our protected classes, I will block you from commenting. I won't block you from the channel as well. So, guys, I can see no one's here. I really need a cup of coffee to keep going today. I've got some sewing to do. As I said, it's like everything that I need to do will take 5-10 minutes to maybe an hour. But when you put those together, they're going to take all day. And guys, just a question to the New South Welshman. And guys, I did not watch the football, Adele. How are you guys doing with bird flu down there? Because there's something telling me that I just need to go and buy some family cloth, which is reusable toilet paper. I don't know why, but it's just something that's popped into my brain that I should do. And when it pops into my brain and doesn't leave for 2 or 3 days, I feel it's just something deep in my spirit telling me that this is something I need to do for a reason. I don't think we're going to have any more lockdowns. I do know that they are restricting eggs, and I know in Queensland and New South Wales, our food authorities are looking the other way if you're swapping or trading eggs. So guys, yep, I'm trying to make this Thursday Live a regular thing as well. And just a shout out to AJ and the Wife Files team. Guys, AJ works bloody hard to do the research and debunking. So, guys, you can either have quality or quantity. I would much rather prefer quality and him not burning himself out. So, guys, be kind to each other. And if you're a support worker, guys, thank you. I know I'm a hard ass on support workers, but that's because I see the best of the best and the worst of the worst. And also, TikTok support workers, there's a few I do follow, but guys, some of them are quite cringy as well. That I'm wondering, can those people who they're filming with clients, can they consent to that? Deb and I are going to talk about revisit disability and consent around internet as well, because guys, the internet's become such an integral part of our lives. So guys, plenty of content coming as well. And guys, please stay warm. And if you're in Toowoomba, Stanthorpe, and you're struggling with warmth, Metro Church, Highlands, Lifeline should all be able to help. See you guys.